S3 Sports with Tim Fletcher.
Well, good evening, guys. We are in Baton Rouge today where Les Miles addressed a throng of media who are armed with questions that many LSU fans have had for the last 8 nights. It was just 8 nights ago when Alabama absolutely humbled LSU in the BCS championship game 21-0. There have been internet rumors and emails circulating of so many wild stories, and Les Miles addressed some of those. He said there were no physical altercations in the locker room prior to the game. He said there were no player revolts prior to the game if one player started at quarterback versus another. But there were a couple of things that we found extremely interesting that Les Miles sort of danced around. And one inquiry or one line of questioning included the criticism that has come these last 8 days. Surprisingly, Les Miles is oblivious to that criticism.
I have to be real honest with you. I don't know the negativity. I operate with an arm's length with newspaper and media. There cannot be anybody more critical of this program than myself. So I'm taken back by it. Like I say, I don't understand it.
You know, you talk about you didn't really see any of the negativity. I think the reason why Bob and Bozier, City, the booster, was able to react was because the players reacted via social media, Facebook or Twitter. Fans see that, and they see that the players were obviously upset, emotional, knee-jerk reactions after the game. There was some blame laid at the coaches' feet, not necessarily you per se, but coaches in general, for the lack of preparation and game plan and so on and so forth. And that kind of, made that anger, I think, among the LSU fans kind of fester a little bit, and it just seems like that emotion from the players. How do you address that as a coach? And was that anger there at the coaching staff? Was it misplaced?
Well, I am not going to answer some of that because I have no way to deal with it. I deal with my team, and as my team would bring things to me, then and there can I really address it. I can tell you that our football team should be hurt. I can also say that those people who didn't get to play as much as they'd like certainly should be hurt as well. Those guys that played had the opportunity to make plays and to make a difference in that game. That being said, it wasn't done. I don't think that there's a way to separate the coaches on this team and the players. I think we are painted by the same brush, and certainly the coaching staff takes every discredit for our play on that Monday night, as well as the play that was certainly worth credit well before that.
I found it interesting that Miles mentioned the players that didn't play obviously were hurt, so he had heard about Russell Shepard and T-Bob Hebert mentioning after the game that they didn't get a chance to play. And I find it also interesting that Les Miles talked about the players that did play could have made a difference in that game. Once again, still no addressing the poor game plan that LSU had for Alabama. Now, there are other things going on with the LSU Tigers. Gunnar Kiel, the #1 quarterback prospect in the country, he didn't show up yesterday as he was scheduled to for early enrollment. He wasn't here today for the first day of classes at LSU because he was in South Bend, Indiana, which is about 500 miles closer to his home in Indiana. He enrolled at Notre Dame. Les Miles said that's just the breaks. Young man who wants to stay closer to home is pretty normal. Now, the New Orleans Saints also making news here. Another disappointing end to a finish for a season for a Louisiana team. They're looking for a defensive coordinator. Greg Williams, officially the new defensive coordinator for Jeff Fisher in St. Louis. And as far as what they're looking for, well, you would think that someone who would be aggressive and give the offense more opportunities. But that's about as far as a cookie cutter as you're going to get, Sean Payton admit to looking for.
I just look back at my own experiences, and someone gave me an opportunity for the first time, and so I think that you try to pay attention to all those things, and you really try to do as much preparation and homework as you can on the candidates, and spend as much time visiting with them, but I don't think you try to just profile, all right, here's exactly what we're looking for. What if that guy's not as good as someone outside of your profile? And then so I think we try to keep an open mind.
And it's good to keep an open mind, but you also want the best guy for the job. And Steve Spagnuolo, the former St. Louis Rams coach, kind of a coincidence, isn't it? He's in town in New Orleans tomorrow interviewing for the defensive coordinator job with the Saints. The LSU Tiger basketball team trying to get back on the good foot after opening the SEC with a win. They dropped 2 in a row before hosting Auburn tonight at the PMAC. LSU had an 11-point lead with under 4 minutes to play in the first half. Josh Langford just takes the lane like he owns it, cutting the margin down to 9. Jalen Courtney stops and pops from 15.5 feet. I measured it during the timeout. They almost threw me out of the gym. I kid. Frankie Sullivan from three-point land splashes the pot. 30-22 Tigers in front. Love this offensive set from LSU. Check out Storm Warren floating around the lane. Has a nice shot, but he sees the big man, Justin Hamilton, down low for a better look. It's a 10-point lead for LSU. 10.6 seconds to play in the first half. Hamilton, I don't know what to do. I don't want to do this. Get it out of my hands. The hot potato goes to Isaac, 34-24. The student manager for Auburn has seen enough. Oh, kid, you missed it. Frankie goes to Hollywood Sullivan, relaxes, and throws in the 55-footer at the buzzer, cuts the lead to 7. Of course, the student manager will say, oh, I was there. I saw it the whole time. And if he had stuck around for the rest of the game, he would have seen a really fine basketball game. This one went to overtime. LSU wins in the extra frame, 63-58 to move to 2-2 in SEC play. Arkansas got pounded tonight by Kentucky, 86-63 in Lexington. And we've got to say congratulations to little Lulu. Lulu Perry is now the leading girls high school basketball scorer in Shreveport-Bossier history. She eclipsed the mark set by Crystal Smith about 6 years ago with an effort tonight against Woodlawn. So congratulations to former athlete of the week, little Lulu Perry. Joe's got a final look at weather right after this. Oh, keep rolling, Jim. Don't turn it off yet. Jim. Three, two, one.
Well, it's going to be a chilly night across the Ark-La-Tex and then cool for tomorrow, but don't get used to the cold weather. It gets warm again as we head toward the weekend.
All right, nice to see it. Thank you so much, Joe. Thanks for joining us for KTBS 3 News at 10. We'll see you tomorrow.
KTBS.com. Honored by the Associated Press for the best news website for all the state of Louisiana.